we should just start off, because we have juggernauts that should take their time to tell us how we got where we are. Yeah, so I'll start with the former Vice President, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. Thank you very much.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to start with an apology for missing the opening ceremonies, because I had just arrived early this morning from Europe, and therefore needed a little bit of time to rest. And now I would like to take us back to the history of political parties to be able to really understand their respective roles, in the years. First of all, the issue nowadays of political parties started in the late 80s. Then the main objective was to drive away the military. I spent most of my political career in forming political parties. First of all, to send away the military and return the country to democracy. And then as the second phase is what we are today discussing, the role of political parties in governance. And I can tell you that when the establishment of political parties started in order to send away the military, I was in the forefront together with the late Shehu Yaradua. Basically, main objective was, look, we got to send the military out of governance. Of course, we were played around by the military several times. We formed political parties. They will dissolve them, and then eventually we ended up with two political parties set up by the military themselves, the SDP and NRC. Of course, our own political wing, which was the People's Front of Nigeria, formed an alliance with PSP, and we came into the SDP. And these were the two political parties, the SDP and the NRC, that now fought the military out of power, and then power was handed over to the civilians or the supposedly democratic parties. Now, since getting into power, the role of political parties have evolved, in some cases changed, in some cases for the good of the country, and in some cases for the bad of the country. But I think we have come to the peak of the crisis as far as the role of political parties is concerned today. And I hope the deliberations in this conference will lead to the re-examination of the role of political parties in providing good governance. We have listened to a number of challenges facing the political parties currently, and how to go about getting those challenges resolved. For sure, some of these challenges have moved from political parties to governance. Now, governance dictates political parties. We should have been the reverse. We should have been the political parties, of course, directing governance on what should be done, because that is their role. They interact with ordinary people, they go into campaigns, they live with ordinary people, and so on and so forth. I think our main challenge in this conference or seminar is to see how the National Assembly, through various laws and legislation, can play a role in making sure this objective is achieved. Sometimes last year, I sat down with some of my advisors and lawyers, and we crafted amendments to the Electoral Act that is currently in operation. And I sent it to the National Assembly. I signed it, sent it to the Committee on Constitutional Amendments as far as the Electoral Act is concerned. But I know for sure that they are not going to make use of those recommendations I made, because I made them in good faith, and I made them to strengthen actually the political parties and the electoral process. And with the current National Assembly, I don't see them adopting most of the recommendations I made. So what next? What do we do? Like somebody said here, we have a National Assembly that is more of a rubber stamp, to the government. But I refuse to agree. It all depends on us. The example I will want to cite here is last year's election, Turkey's presidential election. President Erdogan has been in power for 20 years in Turkey. And the last presidential election, because of the credibility and integrity of the electoral process, after the first ballot, Erdogan scored 49.5%. And the constitution requires him to score at least 50%. The second guy came with 4%, and the third with less than 2%. And the Electoral Commission refused to declare Erdogan as president. Those of you, of course, when we were in either primary or secondary school, we were told that if you have 49.5, you round it up to 50. Not so. But, yes, but the Electoral Commission of Turkey refused to round it up and give Erdogan a victory. They insisted on a run-up. And when they had the run-up, the man who got 4% supported Erdogan. Believe me, I was watching 24 hours. When the second result came out, Erdogan won by the 4% that was given to him by the person who came second. Now that is the credibility of an electoral process. Do we have the same thing here? Like somebody said, it is the courts now who declares our candidates or winners, not the people. So we really are at a crossroads, on this democratic experiment. We either decide we want to be democratic, or we decide to abandon it. So I believe that this seminar or conference is germane, is important, is historic, but we cannot leave this place without really marshalling out, a proposed action plan on how to get our electoral act amended and how to return the rights of the Nigerian people to elect whom they want to elect, not for the courts to determine who they have elected. I think I will stop here with my opening remarks on this issue. Thank you very much.